It's a beautiful day to give thanks unto the Lord and to praise the name of the Most High. It's good to be back with you. I know you will see that I'm not my generally upbeat self, but I am here. Are you here with me? I am not sure. Let me see if you are with me. So I'm waiting on you. We are running a little bit late, but we should be able to at least say hi to each other today. So I'm looking to see who is on yet. Don't see anybody on yet. But as usual, you know, it's important to talk about marriage and family. And I think today we're talking about the importance of couple therapy. So, are you here or are you here? We are unable to go on Instagram today. So, we are on Facebook and YouTube, I gather. So, is anybody out there? I am waiting on you to come on. Remember that it's a short amount of time. We don't have a lot of time, right? So, waiting to see if you are joining me today. Or I'm not sure if you were sensitized. Hi, Norma. How you doing? It's good to see you, girl. I missed you the other day, right? We should have did link up, but we never get to link up. But it's good to see you. Yeah? Yeah, I'm not 100% myself right now either. So, but I understand from my office that persons have been asking. So I have made the concerted effort to be here today. And yeah, talk about how we do. So how you do, Norma? Yeah, girl. Yep, we're holding on. We're holding on. The rigors of life, but we're holding on. You know, holding on to the good things. Them holding on to God. Yes. So who else is on? Who else is on? Who else is on? I see three. Okay. Who else is on? Yeah, man. I'm going to be better. You know. It's yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not just yet, but it's going to happen. But nothing stops me from doing what I'm doing as long as I have breath and I can talk. Like I said on Sunday morning to my congregation, that my physical may not be 100% right now, but my spirit is alive, my soul is alive and well. And once there's breath in my lungs, you know me, we're gonna talk, right? So, yeah. So, that is it. That is it. That is it. So, today we're really supposed to be talking about, and it's such an important topic that I don't want to share it and then I have to go share it again because enough persons were not sensitized to me being on today, right? But marriage is such a wonderful thing that can help us to cause us to become better individuals in life. Yes, marriage is beautiful. Marriage is a time honoring, God honoring institution. Um, that we're not telling people not to get married, even though persons have been through stuff, even like yourself, ma, been through the rigors of divorce and separation and so. But marriage is still a good thing. It's just that two people have to be invested in it. It's just that the two people have to want it. And the two people have to understand that they have to work towards its growth and development, because it not just happen, right? So if you're a couple that is charting a common purpose, if you're a couple that is forging ahead in life, you know, you're not going to get normal, because yeah, me know you have been scarred and you know get past that yet. And but there's nothing to say that you can't, you know, normal. There's not, just because you have had a bad experience don't mean that you have to write it off in life. Because remember that God designed marriage, and He designed it to last, and it can bring some amount of happiness and joy and peace in your life, but it also has its challenges. Good afternoon, Debbie Angel, how you do? Right? So it's not that marriage is bad, it's just that sometimes when both persons are not committed to the process, then it becomes a strain on one person, and it eventually ends up in separation and divorce. So I've already deviated from the topic for today, right? And that is why marriage must not be entered into. I share. That's why marriage must not be entered into lightly or without advice either. You know, I just concluded over a year of counseling and premarital preparation with a couple just now. And I took them through the vows, you know, because I think it's important that when people are entering into marriage, that they don't just hear the vows when you stand before the pastor and the day when you stand before the pastor. You need to know it before you go there. Because when you stand before the pastor, you can't say, no, I'm not believing in that part there. And right now, people standing up before me and they want to say for better, for better. And me night to them, hi Winetta, how you doing, darling? Good girl. Wagwan. Yeah. So yeah, you know, people want to stand up before me now and they want to say, hi Crystal, to say, boy, for better, for better. Nobody don't want to say for better, for worse no more, you know. Nobody don't want to say in sickness and in health. You know, nobody don't want to say until death do us part, like them immortal, you're going to live forever. The vows are not bringing a curse on anybody, you know. The vows are simply for you to understand that there are seasons in life, there are good seasons and there are bad seasons, that life is going to throw you curveballs as a couple, that your marriage in itself is a warfare in the beginning. And so if you're in war, there must be opponents. And so you're going to be up against an opponent, right? And so it's really helping you to understand that there are going to be good days and bad days down the road. And that little challenges are coming sometime. But it doesn't mean that you're going to give up because there are challenges. So when you emit those vows, when you say those vows, when you declare them or you answer in the affirmative to them, then you have to know that it's not peaches and cream all the time. It is not going to be rainbow ice cream all the time. There are going to be differences of opinion. There are going to be conflicting times and situations, because it's life. You know, God never promised us a bed of roses in marriage. So marriage is a good thing, brethren, sisterin. Good day. Yes, thank you. I'm looking beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Crystal. Yeah, I feel 100%, but I said, since you guys are waiting, you know, on me to come on, might as well, me, yeah, come on. And yeah, you know, hi, Tezaro, how you doing? Yeah, so yeah, marriage is a good thing, man. So not because, Norma, may I say it to you, not because you have been scarred from one, don't mean that you write it off. The God of marriage and the God who makes marriage or invented the idea had us in mind. He thought about us. He thought about the fact that he created us as relational human being. He thought about the fact that, you know, we would need to have a companion in life who we can share our dreams, our aspirations, you know, who we can achieve and arrive at a goal together with, right? It is not God who sends us into marriages that don't work out. So we have to think about that, because when something goes wrong, it is never God. We have to think, did we hear from God when we were going in, right? So we can't blame Him. So the fact that a marriage didn't work out or didn't work out, for some persons, doesn't mean that marriage itself is bad. Marriage is a great thing, it's a wonderful thing. I am thanking God that I am able to be in my marriage, after 30 years and 44 years together, that we're still able to be together, still loving each other, still in love with each other. But that is because of the commitment that we made. Thank you, Norma. Later down the road. Because don't put yourself on a shelf. Because you look good. You look good, man. You look good. You're proper. Yeah, full of shape and all these wonderful things, and you have beautiful personality and characteristics that can take you through. But we have to understand that in marriage is a partnership. One hand cannot clap. If it's only one person want it to work, it not gonna work. It has to be both persons with a vested interest in the marriage for the marriage to work. And that's why marriage must not be entered into lightly. Too many persons are rushing to marriage because they are legal, because they have the wherewithal, because you can do it. Don't just do something because you can do it. Do something because you have a vested interest and you are committed to the process. And the process has rigors, you know? Yeah, please like, comment, and share, guys. I wrap up still, because I can't talk for too long, because not 100. But yeah, marriage must not be entered into lightly and without advice. Marriage comes with rigors. There are bumps in the road. Tires get flat and you have to ride on the rim, and it's a bumpy experience. You have to be willing to weather the storms, because there are some storms. And then when you recognize that it is not your spouse that is the problem, or the enemy, and you are not the enemy, then you recognize together that there is an enemy who is coming against your marriage, and then the both of you have to team up to fight against that enemy. But when you start fighting against each other because you're seeing each other as the problem, then the enemy wins already. Because if he can get you to divide, he already wins. Yeah? But marriage is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a gift that we get because God himself procured it for us. He went about it. He thought about it. He thought we needed companionship. And so when he said it is not good for the man to be alone in Genesis 2:18, it was not an afterthought, because God does not have afterthoughts. Right? God not come up with one plan B. It wasn't a plan B. It was in God's plan all along. But I believe, from my understanding, God gave Adam some responsibilities. He gave him something to do, to tend the garden, look after, because woman a responsibility, Marriage a responsibility, Marriage is hard work. So God gave Adam those things to do first, and watched how Adam executed those things. Yes, and as Adam executed those things, God said, all right, it's now time to add to his responsibilities. Right? So God added a wife, added family, gave him more responsibilities, but also that in giving him these other responsibilities, this family, this wife would now meet some of his needs for relational companion. Adam never knew he needed sex until he saw Eve. He never really knew he needed companion. He was talking to the animals, they were not talking back to him. So they could not meet his relational need. They could not meet his need for companionship. Yeah? So marriage is a good thing, man. It is meant to fulfill a need that we have. We have to honor it because it honors God. Marriage honors God, it's not us. Hebrews 13:4 says marriage is honorable, but unto whom? It is honorable unto God. So when we strive to keep it together as a unit, then God is pleased, God is glorified. But if we miss the mark and we allow the little things of life, and then we're going to end up being divorced and separated. That's what Moses says. Moses gave the bill of divorcement to the people of Israel back in the day because there was an unwillingness in their hearts to forgive. Now, if there was not something being done to forgive, there would not have been an unwillingness to forgive. So something was happening, adultery, go on, probably abuse, me no know. Some things were going on back in the day, and there was an unwillingness. on the part of the parties involved, more so I think the men, because women never have much say back in them days, to forgive for whatever the situation was, right? And so Moses had to write a bill of divorcement, give them to say, okay, for these reasons, you can put away your wife or your husband, right? But that was not God's ideal. God's ideal was that we remain married, that we stay married, that we work hard, that we strive together, that we be faithful to each other, that we love each other, that we are committed to the process, that we understand that, like everything in life, when you go to your job, it has hardships, it has rigors. Anything that you do, if you're studying, it comes with some amount of hardship and rigors, but you overcome them because you're committed to that process. You want the education, you want the degree, so you stay committed to that process there. You want the job because you want the paycheck, so you stay committed to that process there, because the paycheck are going to bring you the house and the amenities of life. So you stay committed to that process there, but you don't need to stay committed to you. And so divorce is so easily had these days. It's like driving up to a fast food window, Burger King, pushing in the papers at one end, collecting the paper at the other end. It's so easy to come by. Divorce can be had on hire purchase. Just the lawyers, them will tell you, they have lawyers that are just divorce lawyers. They live for divorce. If the divorce not happen, they're out of business. But we put them in a business, we have to know that we are standing for what God is standing for. And God says, whom he has joined together, let none pull asunder. We want to honor God with our marriages, but some marriages can't stay together because the intent, the purpose, the work prior to was not done. We're never sure if it was God, and so we can't take the rigors. There was not commitment on both parts to work this through and to be faithful to each other. And even if something happens, because nobody is perfect, that we can work it through. If that's not there, like the material in a marriage no more. But I am declaring today, because God has made me an authority on marriage and family, right? I am declaring that marriage is built to last. Right? So you were in one, it never work out, you come out tight, you say the one you're in and now, make it last. Because it's not a trophy. Nobody's not supposed to put a notch on them belt. Oh, I've been married 4 times. Is that not a trophy? Or I've been married 3 times, not a trophy. So don't work for that trophy. Right? My husband normally say 1 time is a mistake and 2 times is purpose. So you entered into one, it's not working out. You're trying to go into another one now. Make sure you do your homework before you go in there. Don't go in there to fail again. Because the first one is a failure. Because unless your spouse dies, it's a failed marriage. Hi, Kimon, how you doing? Right? Hi, Edith, how you doing? So, yeah. So the first marriage was a failed marriage. Or the second, I don't know how much you've gone through already. Make this one last. Do the homework. Put in the work. Understand that it takes commitment. Yes? Love is a part of that, but it takes commitment. Just like when you're committed to your studies and you're committed to your job. Be committed. Understand that the commitment going to rub you a little bit sometimes. Yes, it is going to. I believe that Helda and I are at the stage of wholehearted love now in our marriage, but we have been through sometimes meetings, so we go through the worst already, But through me don't know what lie in front of me. But I'd like to say, if there's any worse to go through, we have been through it already. And so we have covered the 5 stages of marriage or relationship. And I believe with all my heart that we are at a stage of wholehearted love now. But does it mean that we still don't have conflicts? We do. We have disagreements. We don't always disagree. We disagree with Elder. We disagree just last night. Yeah. But does it mean that I'm going to throw my hand in despair and call the first lawyer that comes to my mind? No. Because that don't make no sense. Right? But I'm just saying to you guys, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a thing that honors God. Hi, Sister Sandra, how you doing? Hi, Latoya. It's a beautiful thing and it honors God. And that is what you must think about first before you enter into a next marriage. Understand that it honors God. If you are not doing this to honor God, don't do it. Because something has to hold your commitment. The basis of your commitment must be firm. Why am I entering into this? Yes, I want a companion. I want somebody who will help me to carry out God's purpose on this earth. But people who are single can do that too, right? But if you're intending to go into marriage, understand the purpose of marriage, the primary purpose, because there are primary and secondary. Understand the purpose, right? Understand who it honors when you work to make it work. Think about all of that before you think about the wedding, because the wedding is one day, but the marriage is for life, right? So don't rush into marriage. If you're coming out of a failed one, do not rush into another one. Think first. Do your homework first. Find back yourself first before you enter into another one, because hormones are not always going to be kicking. You understand? That was not my topic for today, My topic was different. What if you tried and tried and tried with the one you're in? I don't know. Because if you have not come to me, I don't consider that you have tried. Right? You can try by your own efforts. The topic what I was supposed to talk about today was the importance of couples therapy. Yeah? Because persons would have tried and tried and tried and tried, but have you access the help that God has made available? Not just me, there are other couples therapists out there, but have you accessed that help? Have you sought help when you saw that your marriage was failing, or you sit down and wait until it popped down and then you want God to work a miracle? Life is not governed by miracles. Life is governed by principles. There are principles. Yes, we want miracles. That's all we are. We want miracles. But life is governed by principles, and your marriage is also built on principles, and it will stay together on principles, not miracles. The favor of God will be upon you, but it's principles that you apply that will cause it to work. So if it is that you see that there are problems, and that's why I was going to talk about the importance of therapy, because people see problems and then sit down there and then sweep it under the carpet, or you sit down there and try to work it out. I'm not saying you're not supposed to work some things together, but if you never have the foundation in the first place, if you never did proper premarital counseling in the first place, that would have given you some helps that you need so that you can, because that's what my premarital counseling prepares you, so that when you get married now and you see one and two things start happening, you already have the know-how, because you would have worked through some of those problems and challenges in premarital counseling. I literally work through some of it with you so that you know how to work through some of it yourself, because I don't want you to come to me all the time. But I do say to couples, every 2 months you must check in on your marriage and check the temperature of your marriage, because it has a temperature. Hi, Lady Shinake, how you doing? Marriage has a temperature, and you have to check the temperature to know whether or not your marriage is healthy. A little fever, I take it. A little flu, I take it. Or a little bad mind, I take it. Or a little covetousness, I take it, or something. It is not always healthy, and that is why God make therapists, That's why God made therapists, so that you can get the help that you need. If something is wrong with my car, I don't take it to a family therapist, I take it to a mechanic. And if something is wrong with your marriage, you take it to a family therapist or a family counselor, whichever one of them you want to do. Right? So that was what I was supposed to talk about today, the importance of that, because especially in Jamaica, we don't believe in counseling and therapy. We think it's for sick people and mad people. We don't understand that therapists and counselors act as a guide. One like myself, I'm a guide. I'm a guide to you. I don't make decisions for you. I help you with your decisions. I guide you in the process. Right? But when you sit down and you see your marriage deteriorate and you wait until it pop down, you see a termite eat it down, and try to go get the help. You sit down and wait, because my husband now come in and got the counseling. Go the counselor for yourself. You never know, because probably, you have a part to play too, because no one person mash up the marriage, It takes two to mash it up, just like how it makes two to make it thrive. So, and we have a tendency to do for do. You do me something, so me do you something. Yeah. So you have to know that when you're entering into marriage, enter into it with all four eyes. Enter into it knowledgeable. That is why preparation is important. Enter into it knowing that you are going to come up against some challenges. Right? No matter how hunky-dory it look at the beginning, you're going to have challenges because you're two different persons entering into this marriage. You are what I call designer differences. You have designer differences, right? And if you don't know how to make the designer differences be a complement to your marriage, then it's going to be a complication. And once we have a complication, because we don't like stress, we're going to just run. Can't bother with stress. So I'm saying to those of you who are online, you're in a marriage that is not currently working out and you're planning to exit it and to intend another one, take some time, find back yourself, know what is it that you want in the current one that you're going to go into. Because if you don't know what you want, you're not going to know when you find it, right? Find out, see what went wrong in the one you're leaving, and put all the measures in place to ensure that there's no repetition in the one to come. And this is not something that you can do by yourself, right? It's not your area of specialty. So I know one you can by yourself. Just know and understand that marriage honors God. Am I willing to honor God if rigors come, if turbulent times come, when curveballs are thrown? Am I going to be willing to honor God in the midst of all of that and remain focused, knowing that God will help me? Am I willing to do the things that I need to do to ensure that my marriage is helped? Am I willing to take responsibility for my own actions? And even looking now, what part did I play in the decline and the breakdown? I know I'm not going to amen to them, but I saw it go. Yes, I am not here for an amen. I'll wait on Sunday morning for that. And if none still not come, I'm going to preach anyway. So, I love you all out, with all my heart. And I know that some of you go through stuff and you have been through stuff. I have been through stuff too. Yes. But I made my commitment to God. And I've watched God work. And I've applied the principles, not just wait on the miracles. I've applied the principles to ensure that the quality of life that I'm enjoying now with my husband, I put in the work. Both of us put in the work. And we are here now. Yeah? So I want the same for you. I would have loved if your first marriage worked out or so, but if it not work out, all right, good. Well, not good. Okay, so it didn't work out. I don't want it to make a second mistake. I don't want it to make the same mistake a second time. So put some thought into it and understand that marriage is marriage. It is what it is. It's not just a day to look forward to. It's a lifetime of love, devotion, commitment, trial and crosses sometimes, but together as a unit, you can overcome. One cannot keep one by himself, says the wise man Solomon in Ecclesiastes 7. It takes two to be warm. One can only chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight. So there is benefits in the partnership. There are benefits in the two. But be careful of who you're joining up yourself with. Make sure so the two are on the same page. You want the same things as far as the partnership goes. Make sure you're working towards a common goal. Because a marriage can be likened to a pair of scissors. Two individual blades joined together Each blade can do significant damage, very powerful by itself. But when the two scissors blade come together for cuts, it is very powerful. That is a couple who is charting out a common purpose together. We are individually powerful, but together we are even more powerful as a force to be reckoned with, as a team that is moving forward to give God honor and glory. So take time until next time. See you then. I love you all too very, very, very much. Yeah. And I want what is best for you. So the Lord bless you and keep you until next time. Have a great rest of the day and a very productive one. Food for thought. I love you. Oh, I should remind you of the things coming up. So these people don't remind me. I'm supposed to remind you. So Sunday morning is worship at CDMI Family Worship here at 9 a.m. You can join us online, YouTube or Facebook at Carla Dunbar Ministries. Right, for worship, for family fellowship at 9 a.m. On the fourth Sunday, of course, it's another riveting and scintillating discussion in the gym, the Grow Your Marriage Ministry. You can join online again, or you can drive up to the location at Temple Palm Gardens and just enjoy the ambience and the fellowship. Love Online, hopefully, will be back with you next week, Wednesday at 12 noon. Let's see what we'll discuss next week. Sweet Escape is on us, and we still have some rooms that could go. So we're asking you to, call the office and see how you can get in on this. It should be our 10th anniversary, and I am rooting for it right now. So we are booked for Rio in Ocho Rios, so I want to go there and have a good time. So call now and book your room, triple occupancy, double occupancy, or a family vacation. Hi, Brother G, how you doing? Wonderful, wonderful. Avia, how you doing? Yeah, so call now and so you can get in on Sweet Escape. It's October 27 to 30, 3 nights and 4 days at Rio. And it's not about the hotel, it's what we do at the hotel. All right, so call now and see if you can make a down payment. You probably only have 2 payments or so left. Yeah, so call and see if you can still get in on Sweet Escape. Remember to join us on tonight for Word Power. If you would like to have the Zoom link, then contact us here at the office and we can share the Zoom link with you so you can come onto Word Power tonight for our midweek top up. Right? So there you have it. And Deborah's. Deborah's was nice Saturday. I don't know. I think, yeah. What did you talk about Saturday again? Oh, silence. Right. Something about, the sacredness of silence. How to be silent before God. Hear Him and just reverence His presence without making a bag of request. God bless you. Until next time. Catch you.